Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. First carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Taylor. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, there's the option going left. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Off the play fake. Parker. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give them confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. To throw is Parker. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 2nd down, Taylor steps away. And some room to roam now. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 65 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
He drops it off for Bernard. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd and goal, Taylor. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. On now is Vinatieri as he'll try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now at 6-3. So no surprise if Vinatieri able to convert there. He is, of course, the owner of the NFL record for most postseason field goals.
Hard to believe he was undrafted coming out of college. And now here he is, into his 40s, and he's still one of the best kickers around.
The Charger offense making their way back out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Super tough.
Now Lewis. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Parker now from the gun. He'll throw. Caught left side by Cobb. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Penny. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Parker to throw again. Flushed out right, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Parker to throw on 3rd down. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They go play action here on first down. Throw right side, complete to Williams. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Parker on 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cobb. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw on 2nd down. Parker stepping up. He'll try and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now it's Taylor. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. Cooper was the target there.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Parker on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Gun!
Parker now going to throw again. And gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Chargers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Parker operating from the gun. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Parker from the gun, he'll throw. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this 1st half of action. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Slow.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Golden Tate, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have drawn even here, and they can take the lead with the extra point to come. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Penny. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The Chargers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Parker. And that's complete to Lewis. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
The pitch goes to Penny. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Back 99.
Here's a give to Penny. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here's Parker to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Parker, operating from the gun. It's caught. Shepard. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Zach Line, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. I got one.
Parker now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is caught for the 2 points. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
He's going to keep it. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Now Taylor, he sets to fire deep. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Now Parker, off play action. And the Raiders have got him. Eddie Vanderdoes in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. The Chargers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returning, it's Benjamin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Taylor. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now Taylor on 1st down. Flushed, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Joey Bosa able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Taylor. Forced out to his left. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here we go. It's Taylor on fourth down. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Chargers getting set to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really with the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Rashad Penny, 95 yards. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
Well, this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Taylor looking to throw on second down. Steps away to his left. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. The Raiders on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? The advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance of winning it?
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it again with Penny. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Zach Line with it, the fullback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the